I want to revisit Richard Sherman's contract with the 49ers. The narrative out there is that he rushed and made an extremely emotional decision when he signed with the 49ers. See, the narrative is that Richard Sherman signed a bad contract that is extremely friendly to the 49ers. And again, he made an emotional decision, and he made a rushed decision. Again, Richard Sherman cut on Friday by the Seahawks, and by Sunday, he was a member of the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I want to offer a counter argument to everyone who believes he made an emotional decision and he made a bad decision. I once got a job in Los Angeles working on a movie. It was awesome, really cool, learned a ton. But what happened, the way I got that job was I got a call on Wednesday during my lunch break. Call said, "Hey, can you be here by Friday?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." I quit my job on the spot. I did finish my work day, but I quit my job. Right after work ended, I went home, packed up my car, and drove 18 hours from Portland down to Los Angeles. Right on the spot. I knew immediately, of course, I'm taking this opportunity. Was it an emotional decision? Of course. Of course it was. I was pumped. But look, it was simply too good of an offer to pass up. Yes, I called my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, what do you think?" And he said, "Go for it. You got to take it." I knew right away, yes, I will take that offer. Got to do it. Richard Sherman signed a 3-year deal worth up to $39.15 million. It's a deal that is incredibly friendly to the 49ers. There's not much money guaranteed, and any additional money is all laid out through incentives. It's not $39 million guaranteed, it's a possibility for $39 million. His base salary, Richard Sherman's base salary is $3 million, plus $2 million if he passes a physical on the first day of training camp, plus another $1 million if he makes a Pro Bowl, plus another $2 million if he's an All-Pro. See, Richard Sherman is betting on himself, and I love it. It's fantastic. The more incentives Richard Sherman reaches, the more money he makes. How much money he makes is directly correlated with Richard Sherman's performance. I think it's awesome. Again, he's betting on himself, and there's no more honorable way to make money than betting on your own performance. It's look, I do well, I make money. That's how YouTube works, I believe. I like that. Now, maybe Richard Sherman took less guaranteed than he could have other places. But with the 49ers, Richard Sherman has the possibility to make far more than anybody else would have offered him. While Richard Sherman was negotiating with the San Francisco 49ers, Richard Sherman called the Seattle Seahawks. He called the Lions. He said, "Hey, does anybody want to counter this argument?" The Lions, the Seahawks, they did not want to match the offer that the 49ers gave Richard Sherman. That's a factor. But here is the big reason. Here is the main reason. This is why Richard Sherman signed so quickly with the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are going to win. The San Francisco 49ers are building something in the Bay Area. Yeah, maybe Richard Sherman could have gotten more money somewhere else. But I don't think Richard Sherman cares about that. I really don't. Richard Sherman is not about the money. He's a veteran. He's made money. When you're already a millionaire, what's an extra $2 million? I don't know. Richard Sherman wants to win. Have you ever heard the saying, mattresses only get so soft, and steaks only get so thick. Once you're at the top, what's a little bit more? Richard Sherman wants to win. I believe Richard Sherman was offered something by the 49ers that he could not refuse. Richard Sherman was not only offered the chance to win, the 49ers offered Richard Sherman the opportunity to play the Seattle Seahawks not once, but twice every single year. Look, the money may not be guaranteed, but if Richard Sherman meets all of his incentives, he has the opportunity to make more money with the San Francisco 49ers than anywhere else he could have played. Look, maybe Richard Sherman did rush it. Maybe he made a terrible decision. But I do believe that is less likely than people think. I do. Richard Sherman, I think, honestly, had every option on the table. He knew what his options were. He knew he could have chased more money with a bad team. I don't know, the Cardinals or the Browns. I don't know. But I believe Richard Sherman got exactly what he wanted. He wanted an opportunity to win, and he wanted an opportunity to make a lot of money. He actually got both. He got exactly what he wanted in his deal with the San Francisco 49ers. Now, another wrinkle to the Richard Sherman contract is that Richard Sherman did not use an agent. And for this, Richard Sherman got a ton of pushback. By the way, lesson for life. People do not like when you challenge the way that they do things. I'm in college, and I hate my college classes. It's extremely frustrating why I, a media production major who wants to make money having his own company making videos, it's frustrating I have to take classes like guitar and biology. How is biology helping me edit videos? I have no idea. But I may hate my classes, but I stopped telling people I think school is pointless. Even if I'm right, I may be dead right. But when I tell people I don't think college is actually helping me, it attacks the way my friends do their lives. Everybody I know is either working for a school or in college. When I tell people I don't like college, I'm attacking the way they live life. When I say I think school is dumb, it just pisses people off. It attacks their way of doing things. Richard Sherman not using an agent is the same exact thing. Every professional athlete uses an agent. So when Richard Sherman doesn't use an agent, when I say bad things about college, it makes people think, psh, do you think you're smarter than me? You think you know better than I do? Of course people got mad when Richard Sherman made what looked like a bad contract and didn't use an agent. You notice that agents were mad? Of course agents are mad. Agents don't want to lose their business. So of course an agent is going to criticize any deal Richard Sherman makes without an agent because that's their job security. That's their livelihood. To be honest, I think Richard Sherman got exactly what he wanted from the 49ers deal. You may not like it, but he got an opportunity to win, and he has the opportunity, the chance, if he meets all his incentives, Richard Sherman has the chance to make a lot of money. I know I like that. I think that was the counter perspective. Nobody's arguing what I just said. Everybody's trashing Richard Sherman for signing a big contract. And I'm sitting there last week. You know, I didn't really listen to a lot of media. I was driving home though, and I'm hearing multiple hosts just trashing Richard Sherman for his contract. And I'm like, why don't we just, does no one have the opposite side? Does no one think Richard Sherman could have possibly done the right thing? Just because you do something quick and just because you do something the way you don't like, the way that we don't normally do things. Richard Sherman's kind of a deviant person, and you're not using an agent is definitely a deviant act. But just because Richard Sherman made a quick decision and just because he did something the way that is not traditional does not make him a bad person. When I immediately left for LA, I knew I was doing the right thing. It was an offer I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. And not always is going against the grain a bad thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. You can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, on YouTube, also on Google Play. Thank you so much. If you really want to help me grow Strong Opinion Sports, though, tell your friends about the show on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Share this with your friends. Tell the world about Strong Opinion Sports. Subscribe and help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Thank you so much.